What is that doing in first class? Senator Rebecca Hartwell stares at the 12-year-old black girl in row 2B like she's found trash in her seat. These people always try to sneak up here. Get her out! The girl looks up from her tablet, voice quiet. Ma'am, my ticket is... I don't care about your little story. Rebecca's laugh is vicious. You think I'm stupid? A kid like you in first class? Your kind belongs in the back where you can't steal from us. But then her 11-month-old son goes limp. His lips turn blue. His breathing stops. Someone help my baby! The girl stands. I can help him. Rebecca's face twists with pure hatred even through her terror. Don't you dare touch my son. We need a real doctor, not some ghetto child playing dress-up. 8 minutes later, the senator would be on her knees begging that same child for forgiveness. 90 minutes earlier, Houston George Bush Intercontinental Airport, 6:15 a.m. Gate 23. United Flight 447 to Boston begins boarding. Maya Washington stands in line clutching her purple backpack. At 12 years old and 4'9", she barely reaches the shoulders of the adults around her. Her father's gray hoodie, 3 sizes too big, swallows her small frame. Inside that backpack, 3 published medical research papers, an invitation from Boston Children's Hospital, and her father's silver stethoscope. Engraved on the case, "Heal with love, Dad." The gate agent scans her boarding pass. Her eyebrows shoot up. First class? Honey, are you sure? It's correct, ma'am. Maya's voice is quiet but steady. Are you traveling with an adult? No, ma'am. I have my unaccompanied minor paperwork. Maya hands over the folder. Everything is organized. Everything is perfect. The agent studies it, then Maya, then the documents again. Her expression says what her mouth doesn't. This doesn't seem right. Go ahead. First class is a different world. Leather seats, warm lighting, the smell of fresh coffee. Only 8 seats total. Maya finds 2B, window seat. She pulls out her tablet and opens a medical journal. Advances in detecting adrenal crisis in infants under 1 year. A white businessman in row 1 glances at her, then quickly away. An elderly woman in row 3 clutches her purse tighter. Maya pretends not to notice. 10 minutes later, chaos arrives. Senator Rebecca Hartwell sweeps in, designer diaper bag over one shoulder, 11-month-old Andrew screaming in her other arm, phone pressed to her ear. Yes, Martin. The Boston Children's Gala tonight. 50,000 donation. Photos with sick kids. Good press. Andrew, stop. What? I fired the nanny. Too expensive. Andrew's screams intensify. Rebecca jiggles him mechanically, annoyed. She stops at row 2. Seat 2A, right next to Maya. Rebecca's eyes land on the small black girl. Her expression freezes, then sours. Excuse me. I think there's been a mistake. Maya looks up. Ma'am? This is first class. Yes, ma'am, I'm in 2B. You're in first class? Rebecca's voice rises. Where are your parents? My father passed away. My mother is working in Houston. So you're alone, in first class. The disbelief is thick. How convenient. Johns Hopkins Hospital purchased my ticket, ma'am. I'm presenting at a medical conference. Rebecca's laugh is sharp. A medical conference. How creative. She turns, scanning for help. Flight attendant! Flight attendant! Jessica appears, young, overwhelmed. Yes, Senator Hartwell? There's been a ticketing error. This child is in first class, alone. I need this resolved. Jessica glances at Maya apologetically. Ma'am, if I could just... I am Senator Rebecca Hartwell, Senate Transportation Committee. I know the regulations. Unaccompanied minors do not fly first class, especially not... She stops, but everyone hears the unspoken word. Maya's hands tighten on her tablet. Her father's voice. Stay calm. Stay dignified. Jessica scans Maya's boarding pass. Once, twice. Senator, this is confirmed first class. Paid in full by Johns Hopkins Hospital. Everything is in order. That's impossible. Rebecca's face flushes. Look at her. Does she look like she belongs here? In row 4, Marcus Thompson, black, 40, Washington Post journalist, quietly pulls out his phone. He's seen this before. He starts recording. Andrew's crying reaches a fever pitch. His little body arches. Rebecca grips him tighter, frustrated. Fine. Fine. Rebecca drops into 2A, still on her phone. But if anything goes missing from my bag, I'm holding the airline responsible. These people always... Ma'am, Jessica tries. I'm not racist. I'm practical. Statistics don't lie. Rebecca waves her off. Can I get a vodka tonic? I cannot deal with this sober. Maya turns to the window. Her reflection stares back, a small girl trying to be smaller. Her eyes burn, but she won't cry. She opens her medical journal. Behind her, Marcus's phone keeps recording, and in Rebecca's arms, baby Andrew's screaming takes on a different tone. Weaker, more desperate. Nobody notices yet. The plane pushes back from the gate. The cabin door seals with a heavy thunk. There's no escape now. Rebecca finally puts down her phone and tries to settle Andrew. He's still screaming, his face a deep crimson. She fumbles with a bottle, but he turns his head away, refusing. Andrew, for God's sake! She shoves the bottle at him again. He bats it away with a weak hand. Formula spills across her Chanel suit. Perfect. Just perfect. Rebecca's voice drips with venom. She looks at Maya. This is your fault. If I wasn't so distracted by this ridiculous situation... Maya says nothing. She's reading about sodium retention in infants with adrenal insufficiency. The words blur slightly. Her hands are shaking. The businessman in row 1 leans over. Senator Hartwell, I have to say, I agree with you completely. The airline standards have really gone downhill. First class used to mean something. Thank you. Rebecca's voice warms. Finally, someone with sense. I mean, look at her. She doesn't even lower her voice. 12 years old? In first class? Please. We all know what's happening here. The elderly woman in row 3 nods. My granddaughter is 12. She would never be allowed to fly alone like this. It's not proper. It's not safe, Rebecca adds. Who knows what kind of family situation? She cuts herself off with false delicacy. Well, we can all imagine. Maya's jaw tightens. She keeps her eyes on her screen. The flight attendants begin the safety demonstration. Rebecca ignores it, scrolling through her phone with one hand while Andrew writhes in her other arm. Jessica! Rebecca snaps her fingers. My vodka tonic? Right away, Senator. Jessica hurries off. Rebecca turns her attention back to Maya. So, Johns Hopkins, was it? Tell me, sweetie, what exactly does a child do at Johns Hopkins? File papers? Fetch coffee? Maya looks up. Her voice is quiet, measured. I'm a junior medical researcher in the pediatric endocrinology department. I study rare diseases in infants. Rebecca's laugh is loud enough to turn heads in the economy. Oh, this is gold, a researcher, at 12. And let me guess, you're a genius? A prodigy? Her voice mocks every syllable. I've published 3 papers on infant adrenal insufficiency with my father before he passed away. Your father, the doctor. Rebecca's tone makes it clear she doesn't believe a word. How convenient that he's not here to verify any of this. Maya's hand moves to her backpack, touching the stethoscope case through the fabric. He died 3 years ago. Pancreatic cancer, stage 4. Oh, sweetie. Rebecca's voice drips with fake sympathy. I'm sure that's a very sad story. But making up credentials to get free tickets, that's fraud. That's criminal. I'm not lying. Then prove it. Show me these supposed papers you wrote. Maya hesitates. She could pull out the printed copies in her bag, show the peer-reviewed journals, show the invitation letter signed by Dr. Patricia Carter. But something in Rebecca's expression tells her it won't matter. Rebecca doesn't want the truth. She wants to be right. I don't need to prove anything to you, ma'am. Ha! Rebecca turns to the businessman. Did you hear that? I don't need to prove anything. That's what they all say when they're caught. Jessica returns with the vodka tonic. Rebecca takes a long drink. You know what I think? Rebecca's words are getting looser, meaner. I think someone made a mistake. I think a charity, probably one of those disadvantaged youth programs, bought you a ticket as some kind of feel-good gesture. Make a wish for kids who want to pretend they're special. And somehow you got upgraded. And now you're sitting here with your little tablet, reading words you probably don't even understand, playing dress-up as a scientist. Maya's breathing stays steady, but her eyes are wet now. She blinks hard. I'm not playing. Sure you're not. Rebecca takes another drink. Let me tell you something about the real world, honey. People like you don't get to be researchers. You don't get to sit in first class. You don't get to skip the line just because you tell some sob story about your dead daddy. There's an order to things. And you're out of order. The cabin is silent now except for Andrew's weakening cries. Even the flight attendants have stopped moving, frozen by the ugliness spilling out. Marcus, in row 4, leans forward slightly, making sure his phone captures everything. Senator Hartwell. Jessica tries to intervene. Don't senator me. I'm doing this child a favor. Better she learns now. The world doesn't owe her anything. Not a first-class seat, not a fancy education, not respect. She spits the last word. Respect is earned, and she hasn't earned it. Ma'am, please, Maya's voice cracks. Oh, now you want to cry? Rebecca laughs. What did you think would happen? That you'd come up here, sit with your betters, and we'd all just nod and smile and pretend you belong? This isn't a charity case, sweetie. This is my first class. Andrew suddenly goes limp in her arms. His screaming cuts off mid-wail. Rebecca barely notices. She's on a roll now, her face flushed with vodka and righteousness. You know what really bothers me? It's people like you that make people like me look bad. I vote for personal responsibility. I vote for people to earn their own way. But then you show up with your fake tickets and your made-up stories and your... Ma'am. Maya's voice is different now, urgent. Ma'am, your baby. Don't you dare tell me about my baby. He's not breathing right. Rebecca finally looks down at Andrew. His lips have gone from red to pale. His chest is moving too fast, too shallow. His eyes are unfocused. What? Andrew? Andrew, baby? She jiggles him. He doesn't respond. His little hand flops loose, revealing the medical alert bracelet on his wrist. Maya sees it. 3 letters engraved in silver. CAH. Her blood goes ice cold. Ma'am, when did Andrew last eat? What? This morning? I don't know. Rebecca's voice is rising in panic now. The nanny usually... Does he take medication? Daily medication? What are you, Jessica? Rebecca's screaming now. Jessica, something's wrong with my baby! Andrew's breathing is getting worse. Rapid, gasping. Maya unbuckles her seatbelt. The plane is still taxiing toward the runway. Ma'am, I need you to listen very carefully. Your son has CAH, congenital adrenal hyperplasia. That bracelet, you know what it means, right? Rebecca stares at her, then at the bracelet, then back at Maya. Her face is blank, confused. You don't know. Maya's voice is flat. You don't even know what disease your son has. The doctor said it was manageable. The nanny handles his medications. When did your nanny quit? Rebecca's face goes white. 2 days ago, but I didn't think... He missed his doses. Maya's voice is clinical now, detached. He's dehydrated from flying, stressed, probably fighting an infection. He's going into Addisonian crisis. His adrenal system is shutting down. If we don't treat him in the next 8 to 10 minutes, his heart will stop. The cabin goes silent. Rebecca stares at this 12-year-old child she just spent 10 minutes humiliating. And then she does something she's probably never done before in her life. Help him. Please. Please help my baby. Maya stands frozen. Every eye in first class is on her. The businessman speaks up. Senator, you can't seriously be asking a child. Shut up! Rebecca's voice cracks with terror. Help him! Please. The plane's engines roar. They're approaching the runway. Jessica runs up. Ma'am, you need to sit. We need to turn around. Turn the plane around. My baby needs a hospital. The pilot's voice crackles overhead. Ladies and gentlemen, we're returning to the gate due to a medical emergency. Please remain seated. The plane banks slowly. Too slow. Andrew's lips are turning blue. He doesn't have time. Maya's voice cuts through. He needs treatment now. 8 minutes, or his heart stops. Then do something! Rebecca thrusts Andrew toward her. Maya's hands shake as she takes him. He's so light. His skin mottled, cool. His breathing is rapid, shallow. Jessica, medical kit. Now! You can't. You're just a... The elderly woman stands. This is insane! By then, he'll be dead! Maya's voice suddenly fills the cabin. Jessica, now! Jessica runs. Maya cradles Andrew, fingers on his tiny wrist. Pulse thready, racing. She opens his mouth, mucous membranes dry, pale, presses his fontanelle, sunken. Tachycardia, hypotension, severe dehydration. Her voice is clinical, steady. Addisonian crisis. Rebecca sobs. What does that mean? His body can't produce cortisol. His adrenal system is shutting down. Without treatment, he goes into shock. Cardiac arrest. Oh, God. What do we do? Jessica returns with the red kit. Maya opens it. Stethoscope, gauze, and injectable hydrocortisone? Jessica pulls out 2 vials, 100 milligrams each, for asthma attacks. Enough. Maya sets Andrew across the seats. She pulls out her own stethoscope. Silver, engraved, Heal with Love, Dad. She presses it to Andrew's chest. Listens. Heart rate? 180. Breath sounds. Shallow. Rapid. She looks up at the adults staring at her. The businessman who questioned her. The elderly woman who clutched her purse. Rebecca, who called her a fraud. And Marcus, still recording. Maya's hands shake. She studied this. Written papers. Reviewed 47 cases. But never on a real patient. She's 12 years old. What if she's wrong? I can't. Her voice drops. I'm not certified, I'm just... You're the only person who knows what's wrong. Rebecca grips her shoulder. Desperate, human. Please, save my baby. Maya looks at Andrew, eyes rolling back, breathing barely visible. Her father's voice. In an emergency, baby girl, your hands can shake, but your mind stays steady. Trust what I taught you. Maya's hands stop shaking. She draws up the hydrocortisone. 0.25 milliliters, 25 milligrams. Jessica, call the gate. Paramedics with IV saline glucose pediatric transport. Addisonian crisis, 11-month-old male, 10 kilograms, CAH patient, missed doses. Jessica radios. Maya finds the injection site. Andrew's tiny thigh, wipes with alcohol. The cabin holds its breath. This will save you, baby. She pushes the needle in. Andrew doesn't flinch. Too far gone. Maya depresses the plunger. Slowly, steadily, withdraws. Applies pressure. Hydrocortisone administered. 25 milligrams intramuscular. 7:47 a.m. How long? Rebecca whispers. 2 to 5 minutes. If it doesn't work? Maya doesn't answer. She dabs apple juice on Andrew's lips to raise his blood sugar. Come on, Andrew. Stay with us. The plane stops. The door opens. Paramedics flood in. Where's the patient? Here. The lead paramedic, Rodriguez, sees Andrew. Then Maya, 12 years old, holding a syringe. Who are you? Maya Washington, junior medical researcher, Johns Hopkins Pediatric Endocrinology. I administered 25 milligrams of hydrocortisone IM 90 seconds ago. Rodriguez stares. You're a kid. I'm a researcher who specializes in this. He has 4 minutes left. Rodriguez looks at his partner. Something passes between them. Get the IV kit, pediatric line, glucose drip. They move fast. Within seconds, Andrew has an IV. Fluids running. Blood pressure? Rodriguez asks. 60/40. Critical. Glucose? A finger prick. Blood test. 42. Severe hypoglycemia. Increase glucose to D10. Rodriguez looks at Maya. His expression changed. You bought him time, kid. Good work. We'll take it from here. They lift Andrew onto the gurney. Rebecca tries to follow. Ma'am, does he have other conditions? Medications? Allergies? I don't... The nanny usually... Rebecca looks lost. She doesn't know her own son's medical history. He has CAH, Maya says quietly. Congenital adrenal hyperplasia, salt-wasting type. Daily hydrocortisone, probably fludrocortisone too. The paramedic writes it down. You got all that from a bracelet? And the symptoms. Rodriguez looks at Maya again. Really looks. How old are you? 12? Jesus. He shakes his head. 12. And you just saved this kid's life. He holds out his fist. Maya bumps it. They wheel Andrew away. Rebecca follows, then stops. Turns back. She looks at Maya. For a long moment, silence. Then, thank you. Barely a whisper. Then she's gone. The first-class cabin is dead silent. Maya stands there, her father's stethoscope still around her neck, her hands smudged with ink from the medical kit label, her eyes red but dry. The businessman in row 1 clears his throat, looks down at his shoes. I apologize. For earlier. I was wrong. The elderly woman in row 3 is crying openly now. Sweetheart, I'm so sorry. We should have believed you. We should have listened. But Maya isn't looking at them. She's staring at the empty space where Andrew was, where she held a dying baby in her arms and made a choice that could have killed him. Her legs suddenly feel weak. Jessica catches her arm. Hey, you okay? I need to sit down. Jessica guides her back to 2B. Maya collapses into the seat, her whole body shaking now that the adrenaline is fading. You were incredible, Jessica whispers. Incredible. I've been flying for 12 years and I've never seen anything like that. Maya doesn't respond. She's staring at her hands. They're still trembling. Jessica squeezes her shoulder, then moves away to deal with the other passengers. The cabin is buzzing now, everyone talking at once, phones coming out, people standing in the aisles. Marcus from row 4 walks over. He crouches beside Maya's seat. Hey, I'm Marcus Thompson, Washington Post. Maya looks up, exhausted. Okay. I recorded what happened. Everything. From the moment the senator started yelling at you until the paramedics took the baby. He holds up his phone. I want to publish it, but I need your permission first. Maya shakes her head. I don't want to be famous. I just want to do my work. I know, but that senator, Rebecca Hartwell? 3 months ago, she voted against expanding CHIP, Children's Health Insurance Program. She called it fiscal irresponsibility. She said poor families were gaming the system to get free health care. Marcus's voice is quiet but intense. She pushes policies that literally kill poor kids because they can't afford medicine. And then you, a 12-year-old black girl she treated like garbage, saved her son's life. Maya is quiet for a long moment. Will it help other kids? Kids who get dismissed because of how they look? Yes. Then okay. But tell my mom's story too. And my dad's. I want people to know why this matters. Marcus extends his hand. Maya shakes it. Deal. An announcement crackles overhead. Ladies and gentlemen, due to the medical emergency, this flight will be delayed approximately 1 hour while we complete incident reports and await a replacement crew. We apologize for the inconvenience. Groans ripple through the cabin. But then something unexpected happens. A woman from economy class appears at the first-class curtain. She's black, maybe 30, wearing nurse's scrubs. Excuse me, I heard what happened. Is the little girl here? The one who helped the baby? Jessica points to Maya. The woman walks over, tears streaming down her face. Baby, I'm a pediatric nurse. I was back there and heard everything. What you did. Her voice breaks. My son has CAH too. He's 4 now. But when he was a baby, he had a crisis just like that. And if the ER doctor hadn't known what to look for, I would have lost him. She kneels beside Maya's seat. You saved that baby's life. You're a hero. Maya's eyes fill with tears. I was so scared. Of course you were. But you did it anyway. That's what heroes do. Other passengers are gathering now. An older black man, a young Latina woman with a baby, a white couple holding hands. You made us proud, the older man says. My daughter wants to be a doctor, the Latina woman adds. I'm going to tell her about you. The white woman steps forward, hesitant. I'm a teacher, and I'm ashamed. I saw you sitting there and I made assumptions. I'm sorry. I'm going to do better. Maya nods, unable to speak. One by one, passengers come up. Some apologize, some thank her, some just want to shake her hand. The crowd grows. People from economy streaming into first class just to see the 12-year-old who saved a senator's baby. But not everyone is celebrating. A white man in an expensive suit, row 7 in economy, pushes through. This is ridiculous. We're delayed because of this circus? The senator should sue the airline for letting an unaccompanied minor perform medical procedures. It's negligent. It's the reason that baby is still alive. Marcus steps between him and Maya. And if you have a problem with that, I suggest you take it up with your conscience. The man backs down, muttering. Flight attendants are trying to restore order, but it's chaos. People taking selfies with Maya. Others calling family members. Someone started a hashtag. Hashtag thank you, Maya. Maya just wants to disappear. Finally, Jessica makes an announcement. Folks, I know everyone is excited, but Maya needs some space. Please return to your seats so we can prepare for departure. Slowly, reluctantly, the crowd disperses. Maya pulls out her tablet, trying to focus on her presentation for Boston Children's Hospital. But the words blur. She can't concentrate. A new flight attendant approaches, an older woman with kind eyes. Sweetheart, the airline wants to upgrade your return ticket, and we'd like to offer you anything you want. Food, drinks, whatever you need. I don't want anything. Thank you. Are you sure? We have... I'm sure. The flight attendant hesitates, then leaves a bottle of water and a package of cookies on Maya's tray table anyway. An hour later, the plane finally takes off. Maya stares out the window as Houston falls away below her. She touches her father's stethoscope. "I got him, Dad," she whispers. "I got him." Her phone buzzes. A text from her mother. "Baby doctor, Carter just called me. She heard what happened. She's so proud. I'm so proud. Call me when you land. I love you." Maya types back, "Love you too, Mama." She closes her eyes, tries to sleep. But every time she does, she sees Andrew's blue lips, hears Rebecca's voice. "Help him, please." Feels the weight of that tiny life in her hands. She opens her eyes, picks up her tablet, focuses on her presentation. The title slide, Early Detection Protocols for Adrenal Crisis in Infants, a Call for Universal Screening. Co-authors, Maya R. Washington and Dr. James Washington in memoriam. She touches the screen where her father's name appears, and finally, she lets herself cry. Not because she was scared, not because she was hurt, but because she knows her father would have been so proud. She saved a life today, just like he taught her. The plane levels off at cruising altitude. The cabin lights dim. Most passengers settle in to sleep. But in row 4, Marcus is already writing. His laptop screen glows in the darkness. The headline forming, "Senator who voted against children's health care watches, 12-year-old black girl she insulted, save her son's life." Below it, the video, already uploaded, already processing. In 3 hours, when they land in Boston, it will have 47,000 views. By tonight, 8 million. By tomorrow, the world. 2 hours into the flight, Maya tries to focus on her presentation when Jessica sits beside her. "Hey, are you doing okay?" Maya nods. "Is Andrew okay?" "I called the hospital. He's stable. Pediatric ICU, but stable. They said 2 more minutes and—" Jessica's voice catches. "You saved his life." Maya looks at clouds below. "My dad would have been faster, wouldn't have hesitated." "Your dad sounds amazing." "He was." Maya pulls up a photo, her and her father in his white coat. Dr. James Washington, pediatric endocrinology. He was brilliant. Jessica studies it. "You have his eyes." "He used to take me to the hospital on weekends. Let me observe. By 10, I was reading his journals. He said I had the gift. We co-authored 3 papers before he died." "What happened?" Maya's smile fades. "Pancreatic cancer, stage 4. Worked at a public hospital, understaffed, underfunded. Had symptoms for months but kept putting off tests. Too busy saving other people's kids. When diagnosed, too late. Dead 6 months later. 38 years old." "Oh, Maya." "The hospital couldn't afford newer treatments. He could have saved thousands more kids. The system killed him." Jessica wipes tears. "The worst part?" Maya continues. 3 months before he died, he applied for a research grant. Wanted to develop cheap diagnostic tests for adrenal disorders in infants, for poor communities, public hospitals, rural areas. Save kids like Andrew before the crisis hits. What happened? Denied. The foundation said not commercially viable. It wanted research that could be patented, sold, profitable. Saving poor kids didn't make financial sense. Jessica's face pales. "What foundation?" "The Hartwell Foundation for Medical Innovation." Maya shows the rejection letter. "Founded by Senator Hartwell's father. She sits on the board." Silence. "The woman who denied your father funding for research that could have saved her own son is the same woman whose son I just saved, yes." Maya's laugh is hollow. Jessica stands. "People need to know." "They will. Marcus is writing it." Another passenger approaches. Dr. Patricia Carter, 55, Asian, business suit, row 6. "Maya, I can't stay silent anymore." Maya's eyes widen. Dr. Carter, what are you doing here? Same conference. Was going to surprise you. Dr. Carter sits. But you surprised me first. What you did back there, that was resident-level medicine. Just what Dad taught me. He taught you well. But Maya... Dr. Carter pauses. You hesitated before the injection. Doubted yourself. I'm 12. Never treated a real patient. What if I was wrong? But you weren't. Know why? You've studied 47 cases, read every paper on infant adrenal crisis, simulated this 100 times. Your knowledge is real. Your skill is real. Only thing holding you back is the world saying you're too young. Maya looks down. Sometimes I believe them. I know. But today you proved them wrong. Every person who saw just a kid, you showed who you really are. Dr. Carter pulls out an envelope. Why I'm giving you this early. Maya opens it. Boston Children's Hospital letterhead. Dear Maya Washington, we are honored to present you with the James Washington Memorial Award for Excellence in Pediatric Research. In addition, we offer you a full scholarship to our medical training program for exceptional young scholars, beginning fall 2026. Maya's hands tremble. Dr. Carter, your father would be so proud. I'm proud. After today, the whole world will know your name. Maya stares at the letter. Her father's name was memorialized. The scholarship that changes everything. Proof that her work, her sacrifice, her endurance, it all mattered. She thinks of Rebecca's voice. You don't belong here. The businessman's doubt. The elderly woman's fear. Every teacher who looked at her like she was too young, too small, too different. Her father's last words. Never let them make you small, baby girl. She's not small. She never was. Outside the window, Boston appears on the horizon. Maya doesn't know it yet, but while she's been flying, Marcus's video has gone viral. 8 million views and climbing. Senator Rebecca Hartwell's world is about to shatter, and Maya Washington, 12 years old, underestimated, unstoppable, is about to become a household name. The plane touches down at Logan International at 11:47 a.m. Maya's phone explodes the moment she turns it on. 47 missed calls, 134 text messages, hundreds of Twitter notifications, Instagram blowing up. What the? Maya scrolls through her phone, stomach sinking. The video is everywhere. Marcus posted it 3 hours ago. Caption. Senator Rebecca Hartwell, who voted against children's health care funding, screams at 12-year-old black medical researcher, then watches that same child save her son's life. This is what judgment looks like. This is what grace looks like. Meet Maya Washington. 8.2 million views, 42,000 retweets. Every major outlet picked it up. CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, Washington Post, New York Times. Her phone rings. Boston number. Hello? Ms. Washington, this is Bradley Carter from CNN. We'd love to have you on tonight. Maya hangs up. Another call. Maya Washington? Rebecca Goldstein, Good Morning America? Hang up. Another. Book deal? Hang up. Movie rights? Hang up. Dr. Carter puts a hand on her shoulder. Turn it off. Just for now. Maya powers down her phone, but as they deplane, she sees it. Airport TVs everywhere, all news channels. Her face on every screen. The video is playing on loop. A CNN anchor. Senator Hartwell has released a statement. Quote, I want to publicly apologize to Maya Washington for my behavior on Flight 447. I was stressed, frightened for my son, and I allowed my fear to manifest as cruelty toward a child who ultimately saved my son's life. I have no excuse. I am deeply sorry, and I am grateful beyond words. The anchor continues. However, the damage may be done. Senator Hartwell's voting record on children's health care is now under intense scrutiny. Multiple advocacy groups are calling for her resignation. Maya walks faster, head down. They're halfway through the terminal when she hears it. "Maya! Maya Washington!" She turns. Senator Rebecca Hartwell is running toward her, still in her vomit-stained Chanel suit, mascara smudged, hair falling out. She looks nothing like the polished politician from the plane. She looks like a mother. Security tries to stop her. "Ma'am, you can't." "Maya, please." Maya stops, waits. Rebecca reaches her, breathless. "I need to talk to you. Please. 5 minutes. You should be with your son. He's stable, with specialists. They said I should find you." Rebecca's voice cracks. "They said you saved his life. The doctors. They said if you'd waited 3 more minutes, cardiac arrest. They said your diagnosis was perfect. Your treatment was perfect. They said—" Her voice breaks entirely. "You knew more about his condition than I did. His own mother." Silence. "I didn't know what CAH was," Rebecca whispers. "His pediatrician told me at 6 months. Said it was manageable. Gave prescriptions. I hired a nanny to handle medications. I never learned. Never thought I needed to. Too busy. Too important." "Your nanny quit 2 days ago." "How did you—" "You told the flight attendant you didn't know when Andrew ate, didn't know his medication schedule, didn't recognize adrenal crisis symptoms, even though he's been diagnosed for months. You didn't know because you didn't want to know." Rebecca flinches like she's been slapped. "You're right. Absolutely right. I failed him. Failed him so badly that a 12-year-old stranger knew how to save him better than his own mother." Tears stream down her face. "And the worst part, the absolute worst, is that I stood on that plane and treated you like you were worthless, like you were nothing, like you didn't belong. When the truth is, you are everything I should have been. Smart, prepared, knowledgeable, caring. You knew my son's condition better than I did. You cared about his life more than I did in that moment. And I—" Her voice drops. "I called you a liar. Suggested you stole your seat. Looked at you and saw everything I've been taught to despise, and I was wrong. And God, I was so wrong." Maya stands very still. People are staring. Dr. Carter has a hand on Maya's shoulder. Airport security hovers. This is the moment where Maya could destroy her. Publicly shame her. Refuse forgiveness. Tell the cameras what kind of person Rebecca Hartwell really is. It would be justified, righteous, deserved. But Maya looks at Rebecca and sees something she recognizes. Fear. The same fear on her father's face 3 years ago when doctors said no more treatment. The same fear she felt holding that syringe over Andrew's tiny leg. The fear of failing the person you love most. "Your son is alive," Maya says quietly. "That's what matters. Because of you. Because I had knowledge you didn't. Not because I'm better. Because I spent 3 years studying the disease that killed my father and couldn't stand to watch another child suffer when I could help." Rebecca's face crumples. "Your father?" "Dr. James Washington, pediatric endocrinologist. Died 3 years ago from pancreatic cancer. Stage 4. Diagnosed too late because the public hospital where he worked couldn't afford adequate screening. He spent his last months trying to get funding for research that would help kids like Andrew, kids in poor communities, kids whose parents can't afford private pediatricians and specialty medications." Maya pulls out her tablet, shows Rebecca the rejection letter. "Your family foundation denied him. You personally voted against funding that would have expanded his research. You said it wasn't fiscally responsible." Rebecca reads it, hands shaking. "Oh my God. My father could have developed screening that would have caught Andrew's CAH earlier. Educated parents, all parents, not just rich ones, about warning signs of adrenal crisis. Could have saved thousands of kids. But your foundation, your family, decided that wasn't profitable enough. I didn't know, Rebecca whispers. I swear, I didn't know. You didn't want to know. Just like with Andrew's KAH. Easier to not know. Easier to let others handle the hard stuff. Easier to make decisions about fiscal responsibility when you don't have to look at the faces of people your decisions hurt. Rebecca is openly sobbing now. I'm sorry. So sorry. Your father, Andrew, you, all of it. I'm sorry. Maya watches her for a long moment. Then she says something that will become the most quoted line of the entire incident. I don't need you to be sorry. I need you to be better. Go back to Washington and vote differently. Look at kids like me and see human beings instead of statistics. Fund research that saves lives instead of research that makes money. Be the mother to all children that you should have been to Andrew. Silence. Then Rebecca nods. I will. I swear, I will. Good. Maya starts to walk away, then stops. And Senator? Learn what CAH means. Learn his medication schedule. Learn the signs of adrenal crisis. Be his mother, not his nanny's employer. His mother. Rebecca is still crying when Maya walks away. An hour later, Boston Children's Hospital. Maya stands at a podium before 50 reporters. Dr. Carter beside her, Marcus on the other side. Behind them, International Pediatric Endocrinology Conference banner. I'm not here to talk about the plane, Maya says into the microphone. I'm here to talk about thousands of children who die every year from preventable diseases because they don't have access to the same health care as wealthy families. About the fact that CAH, manageable with daily medication, becomes deadly when parents can't afford proper medical care. About why research into affordable diagnostics gets rejected while profitable pharmaceutical research gets millions. Reporters scribble frantically. My father spent his life trying to fix these inequalities. He died because of them. I'm standing here because I don't want any other 12-year-old to grow up without their father because the system values profit over people. A reporter raises her hand. Maya, do you blame Senator Hartwell for your father's death? Maya pauses. No. I blame a system that lets politicians make healthcare decisions based on money instead of human lives. Senator Hartwell is a product of that system. So was I on that plane, just on the opposite end. The difference is, today she has a choice. She can keep voting the same way or she can change. We all have that choice. What do you want people to take away? Maya looks directly into cameras. That intelligence doesn't have an age limit. Expertise doesn't have a color. The kid sitting next to you might be the one who saves your life. And if we keep dismissing people based on how they look instead of what they know, we're going to keep losing brilliant minds like my father's. We can't afford that. Children can't afford that. She steps away. The room erupts in applause. 3 days later, Friday afternoon, Boston Children's Hospital. Andrew Hartwell is released from pediatric ICU. Rebecca carries him out, cameras flashing. She looks exhausted, changed. In her hand, she holds a folder, a complete medical education packet on CAH. She spent 3 days learning everything: medication schedules, warning signs, emergency protocols. She also spent 3 days in meetings, hospital administrators, advocacy groups, policy experts. The photo that goes viral isn't of her leaving the hospital. It's of her standing in the hospital's research wing, writing a check for $5 million. The James Washington Memorial Research Grant, a program to develop affordable diagnostic screening for rare pediatric diseases in underserved communities. I can't bring Dr. Washington back, she tells reporters, but I can make sure his work continues. And I can make damn sure no other child dies because their parents can't afford the health care my son gets. When asked if she'll vote differently on the upcoming health care funding bill, she says simply, yes, I've been wrong. It's time to be right. Political analysts predict she'll lose her next election. Conservative donors are already pulling funding. Rebecca Hartwell doesn't seem to care. Meanwhile, in Houston, Maya's mother, Keisha, sits in their tiny Third Ward apartment, watching the news coverage with tears streaming down her face. Her phone rings. Unknown Boston number. Ms. Washington? This is Dr. Patricia Carter from Johns Hopkins. I'm calling about Maya's full scholarship to our Medical Scholars Program. We'd also like to offer you a position as pediatric nurse specialist in our research division, with relocation assistance to Baltimore, full benefits, and a salary that will allow you to stop working double shifts. Keisha drops the phone, then picks it up, laughing and crying. Yes. Yes. Oh my God, yes. In Boston, Maya stands in her hotel room looking at her father's photo. We did it, Dad, she whispers. We saved him. And for the first time in 3 years, she feels like maybe, just maybe, her father's death meant something. Like his legacy will live on. Like she's finally strong enough to carry it forward. 6 months later. The James Washington Memorial Research Grant funds its first 3 projects in January 2026. One of them, a rapid diagnostic test for adrenal insufficiency in infants developed by researchers at Morehouse School of Medicine, completes human trials in March. The test costs $12 to manufacture, can be administered by any healthcare provider. It saves 47 children in its first 6 months of use. Dr. James Washington's dream is becoming reality. February 2026. Washington, D.C. Maya sits at a table before the Senate Health Committee. She's 13 now, still small. Still wearing her father's stethoscope. But when she speaks, seasoned senators lean forward to listen. Members of the committee, Maya reads from her prepared statement. I'm here to testify in support of the Children's Health Care Access Act. This bill would expand Medicaid, fund public hospital research programs, and provide grants for affordable diagnostic technologies, exactly the kind of support my father needed and never received. Some of you will say we can't afford it, that it's not fiscally responsible. I'm here to tell you we can't afford not to do it, because every child we lose to preventable disease is a future doctor, scientist, teacher, leader we'll never have. Every parent who dies because they can't afford treatment is a parent who can't raise the next generation of problem solvers. My father died at 38. He could have lived another 40 years, could have saved thousands of children. But he's gone because the system valued profit margins over his life. Don't let that keep happening. When she finishes, the committee room is silent. Then Senator Rebecca Hartwell, who shocked everyone by co-sponsoring the bill, speaks. Thank you, Dr. Washington. I vote yes, and I encourage my colleagues to do the same. The bill passes 73 to 27. President Rodriguez signs it into law 3 weeks later. September 2026. Maya walks through the halls of Johns Hopkins Hospital wearing a white coat with her name embroidered, Maya R. Washington, Junior Medical Researcher. She's 13. The youngest researcher in the hospital's 130-year history. Patients stop to stare. Some recognize her from the viral video. Some just see a kid in a doctor's coat. She doesn't care anymore. She walks into the Pediatric Endocrinology Research Lab. Her team. Dr. Patricia Carter smiles. Ready to change the world? Maya touches her father's stethoscope. I already started. 1 year after the plane incident. Andrew Hartwell's first birthday is celebrated quietly. No cameras, no press release, just Rebecca, Andrew, and a small cake. Andrew is thriving. His CAH managed perfectly. Rebecca knows every medication, every symptom, every protocol. On the wall of their home hangs a framed photo. Andrew with Maya, taken at the hospital 6 months earlier. Beneath it, a handwritten note from Maya. Dear Andrew, your life matters. Not because of who your mother is or how much money your family has, just because you're you. Don't ever let anyone tell you otherwise. Love, Maya. Rebecca reads it every day. It reminds her of what she almost lost, and what she was given the chance to become. The video of Maya and Rebecca has been viewed 47 million times. It spawned a documentary. Maya declined to participate. It inspired a children's book, The Girl Who Knew. Maya's mother wrote it. Proceeds go to medical scholarships. It changed healthcare policy in 12 states. It saved countless lives. But for Maya, the most important thing is simpler. A 12-year-old black girl from 3rd Ward, Houston, was told she didn't belong, and she proved that she belongs everywhere. So what's the lesson here? Maya Washington is exceptional. Published researcher at 12? Extraordinary. But here's the truth. Maya almost wasn't allowed to be exceptional. If Rebecca Hartwell had gotten her way, Maya would have been removed from that plane, humiliated, treated like a criminal, and Andrew Hartwell would have died. Think about how close we came to losing a child's life because adults couldn't see past their prejudices. Think about how many Maya Washingtons are out there right now. Brilliant, talented, capable, being dismissed because they're too young, too black, too poor, too not what we expect. How many future doctors are we losing because we judge before we listen? How many life-saving discoveries are we missing because we fund profitable research instead of necessary research? How many children are dying because their parents can't afford the health care that senators' children get? Maya's father fought these inequalities his whole life. He lost. But his daughter won. Not just for Andrew, not just for herself, for every kid who's been told they don't belong. Here's what I want you to do. First, next time you see someone who doesn't look like they belong, pause. What do I actually know about this person? Second, if you have power, if you vote, hire, make policy, invest in people instead of profits. Third, if you're young and dismissed, remember, Maya, you do belong. Your voice matters. Finally, share this story. The only way we change systems is by changing minds first. If Maya's story moved you, hit that subscribe button. We tell stories like this every week, people who were underestimated and changed the world. Leave a comment. Tell me about a time you were underestimated. Share this video. Send it to someone who needs it. Because we can all choose. Dismiss people based on what we see or listen to what they know. Protect a broken system or fight to fix it. Let brilliant minds go unrecognized or amplify their voices. This is Maya Washington. 12 years old. Black. Brilliant. Underestimated. The girl who saved a life at 35,000 feet. The girl who changed a senator's heart. The girl who proved genius doesn't have an age limit, and compassion doesn't have a color. Never underestimate anyone. You never know who might save your life.
Rebecca screamed, "Don't touch my son," at Maya. 8 minutes later, begged forgiveness. Justice served, right? Not quite. Rebecca called Maya ghetto child, demanded her removed from first class. Then, Andrew stopped breathing. Maya saved him 25 milligram hydrocortisone 8 minutes before heart stopped. Rebecca didn't know what CAH meant, her own son's disease. Rebecca never learned medication schedule. 12-year-old stranger knew more about Andrew than his mother. Here's the twist. 3 months before Maya's father died, he applied for grant, research to save kids like Andrew. Rebecca's foundation denied him. Not profitable enough. Woman who denied funding that could save her own son is woman whose son Maya saved. Rebecca voted against children's health care 3 months earlier, said poor families gaming system. Then her son almost died because she didn't know his condition. Maya lost her father because system values profit, then saved child of a woman representing that system. How many brilliant kids dismissed daily because don't look right, too young, too black, or wrong background. Rebecca only changed after viral video, after public humiliation. That's exhausting. Having someone to save someone's life just to prove you're human. Share if dismissed before anyone knew your story. Subscribe for stories proving worth isn't determined by appearance. Comment, when were you underestimated? Rebecca learned $5 million donation changed vote, but learned only because Maya refused silence. Kids sitting next to you might save your life someday. Stop judging before listening. Intelligence has no color. Expertise has no age. Never underestimate anyone.